All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to discuss volume. You're probably like, what is volume? Volume is the measure of space occupied by a solid. And the big thing here is it's measured in cubic units. So area was in square unit, excuse me, let me backtrack. Perimeters going around, it's one dimension, so it's just a unit. Area is 2 dimensions, so it's a square unit. Volume is 3 dimensions, so it is cubic. Volume takes your length times your width times your height. And I understand that we're not artists, trust me. Mine doesn't look very good either. There you go. But I tried. So I tried really hard to draw that shape. It's not easy. I will not be the first to say it is, but you need to get that in your notes. So my length typically is here, my width typically is here, and then my height's pretty obvious. It's just how tall he is. So first example, the length, this prism square thing has a length of 8, a width of 1, and a height of 5. So I'm going to take my 8 times my 1 times my 5, and I work left to right. So 8 times 1 is 8, times 5 is 40, and it's in terms of centimeters. And I didn't mean to choose the color black, but oops. Guess black's what I'm going with today. Oh, I wanted to scoot my board down. It works when you're not on the marker. Next idea is I need to take my length times my width times my height. Notice how that order I chose to do it in. My length is how long my box is, which in this case is 4. 2 is how wide he is. And 3 is how tall he is. 4 times 2 gives me 8. Times 3 more is 24. And it's in terms of feet. So it's 24 feet cubed. Just like with our other things, our perimeter and our area, we did square shapes and then we did circle shapes. Well, now we have square-like shapes, so like my calculator, right? And then we have cylinders. Yes. We like cylinders. Pop is wonderful. For this one, it's very similar to my I'll show you some. If I did this, pi r squared is just my area formula. So I take my area formula and I tack on the height. It's a pretty easy way to remember that one. And again, pictures. Whew. See if I can do it, you can do it. If I do it, you do it. Okay. First example. And for some reason, the book only decided to give us one example. So we have one example. We're going to start by taking pi times my radius, which is 3 squared, times my height, which is 6. Ooh, excuse me. And we know with multiplication we can reorder stuff. And I want to reorder stuff. I'm going to move my pi to the back. And by back, I mean the last thing I write. Because it'll be easier when I plug stuff in my calculator. So 3 squared is 9 times 6 times pi. And then 9 times 6 is what? 54. So I'm going to take 54 times pi. See, little amounts of multiplication. You're probably like, but what does it matter? I'm setting us up for our next lesson. Gives us 169.6 inches cubed. I would recommend working through that progression so that it helps for our next lesson. This is a suggestion. Speaking of which, better go do that assignment so you can get to the next lesson.